This is the Slow Wardrobe. Come and have a look. Hello, welcome to episode 114 of the Slow Wardrobe podcast. I'm Linda. In this episode, I will catch you up on my last 2 weeks of knitting and crochet projects, followed by an introduction of some new linen yarn colors and gradient sets. And then in the bulk of the episode is, as usual, dedicated to the Layercake current pre-order and styling session. In this case, it's all about cap tops, cap tunics, and a summer version of the slacker trousers, the drop-crotch trousers that I recently introduced, and introducing a smaller size to the slackers as well. But first, knitting, crochet, and new linen yarns. So I already showed you this little Jaga scarf shawl last time that I worked up in one of the new gradients that is coming, and it's a gradient called Eau de Nil. Here it is. It goes from a duck egg green to an Eau de Nil. I've shown you this before, but I'm showing it to you again because you can see the gradient knitted up. I'll do the other gradients later, but I wanted to just repeat that, obviously finished project in terms of knitting in time for Wonderwool at the end of April, where I'll be showing this and where I will be bringing the new gradients and all the yarns, of course, as well as all the layer cakes. I've styled it here with one of the gather dresses that I introduced at the last show. In this case, it's a petite dress in Magpie, and over the top of that is a teal wash, color teal wash, short duster with little ties. Maybe I should call this teal wash actually. And the single yarn, that should be Eau de Nil. This should be the teal wash, just like the fabric. Gradient, okay, decision made. Teal wash it is. A little Eau de Nil separate single one. Get back to that in a minute. So teal wash, cross weave linen, of course, showing off this particular gradient to great effect. That's why I thought nice to show you in this part of the show. What else have I been doing? I've been working on the socks for my husband using the Garthenor yarn that I already showed last time. And what you can see is that in terms of the cuffs and heels and toes, the colors are reversed. This was the first sock that I knitted, and when I got close to casting off the toe, I weighed my yarns, and it was clear that the dark grey yarn, I was already below 50 grams. And of course I needed to knit another sock, and as you can see, they're very big socks and very long. That's how husband likes them. But of course, as a result, if I would have given both socks the dark grey cuffs, heels and toes, I would have run short of yarn. So I thought, well, easy decision. I will put a contrast toe on, and then I will reverse those contrasts on the other sock. He loves it. He loves the contrasts, and it meant that I had plenty of yarn to finish both socks. So they're both done, and I straight away cast on another pair of socks with a yarn that I purchased very recently. I think it was following an Instagram post for someone who was trying to sell yarns in order to raise money for the aid relief in Gaza, the horrible genocide that's happening in Gaza still at the moment. This lady is one of a couple of different people who are putting a tremendous effort into raising money for charity, and I bought some of her yarns. I will put the details down below if I can manage to find them again. Also, of course, to promote her efforts. And I love this yarn. It's a self-striping yarn. I'll put a close-up in as well. This is the first sock already finished. And the second sock, I have turned the heel and I'm halfway down the foot. There it is. So hopefully tonight I'll finish that second sock as well. The yarn is beautifully soft. I think it's one of the 75% merino, 25% nylon blends, but I have no idea how this lady managed to get this yarn so incredibly soft. It's beautiful. It has a wonderful, wonderful hand. So I can highly recommend this. So that's the other knitting project that I'm working on. It's the only knitting that I'm doing at the moment. I have not started another jumper or another project for myself because the rest of my time is disappearing into my crochet blanket. Of course, I've been telling you about this crochet blanket already, and I'll tell you and show you a bit more today. Just to remind you, this is a crochet course that has a big emphasis on making your own design and color development and color knowledge development in the students, run by Sue Maton from the Mercery. And the sample blanket that I showed you last time, I'll show it again here, crocheted by Sue, who runs the course, gives you an idea of the complexity of the design and the complexity of the execution of the blanket, because it is a blanket made up out of pentagons, and pentagons are a notoriously difficult shape to work with and to design around. So you end up with lots of little intricate shapes to fill up spaces between the pentagons and between the pentagon designs. It's really, really interesting. And then the sequence in which you work to build up your own design of blanket is really new and interesting to me as well. One of the things that you do, to just give you a bit of an idea, is you create different color palettes for different parts of the blanket. And I'll show you a couple of my color palettes here. You use an inspiration, of course, to base your own design on, which I have done. Then on the basis of your inspiration, which in my case were paintings of sunflowers that I found on Pinterest, on the basis of the paintings that I found, I created a number of different color palettes that I'm using in my blanket for different elements of it. And you then use the different colors in the color palette according to the proportions that you decided in your little color stories. So you can see that the different colors are in my palette in different proportions. So I would like to see more of these greens and less of those blues, for example, in that part of my blanket. So you use those as a guideline when you create your shapes. I'll give you one example. Here is a flower. I'll just show you a single flower. And I've got two examples of that. A single flower that is based on this color palette. And then I made another flower based on the same color palette, but with a different sequence of the different colors that you can see here. So you gradually build up the different shapes within your blanket. You start putting them in position, you start connecting them to each other, and gradually your design becomes a reality. And while you are designing, you're keeping some of the areas of your blanket a little bit vague, because as you work, it will become clear to you which colors best to drop in where, in order to make sure that the different motifs in your blanket stand out and are emphasized in a way that you like best. So there's a lot of work to it. Like I said last time, I will be working on this for months. I'm really enjoying it. I have noticed that I am not fluent enough yet in crochet to just do it mindlessly. So I don't crochet and watch TV, for example. Even the simple shapes, like the simple pentagons, I do not make them watching something else like I do with my knitting. I can knit pretty much anything including color work and lace work while watching TV. But with crochet, it's a completely different story. I haven't built up enough memory, muscle memory, to do it without looking at it. And I haven't built up enough knowledge of the stitch library in my own head to look at a motif and say like, oh yeah, this is a ring of doubles followed by a ring of this and then a ring of that, and okay, I've got that now, I can repeat that. No, I have to keep going back to the pattern and double check. Now, what was the next ring going to be again? Oh no, that was the other way. So I really need more guidance still with my crochet. I'm still a beginner crocheter, but getting faster, getting better at it, and really, really enjoying it. So I'm keeping going, and I must admit though, once I've finished these socks, I may have to delve into another project to knit in the evenings when I'm watching a movie or any TV shows that I end up watching. I love knitting with that. I can't not knit, and I'm still not very keen on knitting socks again. It hasn't really grabbed me. I'm just persevering with it because I wanted to knock these out, but I need to go back to a bigger project and probably another jumper of some sort or a cardigan for myself. I picked up another colorwork cardigan from the much loved by me Jackie Bog, one of her designs I picked up at Unravel, and I just bought a kit in a small size, even though I need a big size for my frame, but I have lots of leftover yarns of her little hot butter yarn, little balls that I can bring in as extra colors for the design that I've bought from her. More about that once I actually start it. Right now that's dream knitting. But I also bought some very, very thin cashmere yarn that is actually meant, it's on cones, it's meant to be used for machine knitting, but I'm going to hand knit it. Most possibly held together with my linen yarns. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I may have to start swatching with that just to see how I get on with it. I also still have some of the art yarn 2-ply ombre. Remember that I split a hank of the art yarn ombre yarn cashmere. Maybe I will combine that with the machine knitting cashmere. I don't know yet, but I'm itching to get one of those projects on the way. I will update you on that next time. But that was it in terms of what's been on my needles and on my hook so far for the last 2 weeks, and will continue to be, hopefully with the addition of a knitting project that I will tell you more about next time. So onwards and upwards, I promised some new gradients and a couple of new single color linens to add to the color collection of 3-ply linens that I sell alongside the Layercake linen garments. All those linens are in colors that the garments are woven out of, so they always complement each other perfectly, like you can see here. So what I was showing you already is the teal wash gradient, and the darker color in the teal wash, which is like a duck egg green or blue, is also in the second set that goes from here to dark gray, which is called pistachio. The reason it's called pistachio is that these two colors woven together make the pistachio linen fabric that is used in the Layercake garments, in the love dresses, for example. So that's the second set, pistachio, and of course you can combine these two sets to make a big one. So you can go from the dark gray to the duck egg blue and then all the way over to the light eau de Nil to make a double set, to make a fairly extra large, fairly shawl, for example, or any other big project that you have. So it's a really nice combination. You can then work with other colors to move on from the dark gray in a different direction. And as an example of that, I have for you here fig. So remember the fig fabric, which is a dark purple going to a dark gray. So if I connect that to this duck egg blue to dark gray, go from pistachio all the way to the other side where I have black currant. So it's another combination that you can make. And you can then extend that even further. I have to make a garment out of all these connected gradients one day. Maybe that should be my next project. Oh, that's an idea. Because I have another colorway that connects to this one. In fact, I've got two. Let me start by, I can make two more connections. Okay, we can go from blackcurrant to the brown, the tobacco color that is in, for example, turmeric and in bitter lime. But here it is mixed with blackcurrant to make a new cross weave that is coming in the fabrics as well, called cloves. It in a blend in a fabric becomes a brownish fabric, purpley brown of course, but these two together make that color. So we can now go from eau de Nil to the duck egg, through the pistachio to the dark gray, to the fig, and then over to cloves. And that's what this is going to be called. And then from cloves we can pick up that brown and go all the way through to the dark yellow of turmeric. Remember turmeric, the linen fabric turmeric, it's also coming back. And in anticipation, here is a gradient set to go with it. So we now have 5 sets in a row that all connect to each other. Now, if these browns are not your thing and you love the idea of progressing that dark gray to blackcurrant and to take it somewhere else, then last but not least, there's a 6th set, a 6th new gradient called Royalty. You may have seen this fabric already. Goes from the blackcurrant to the teal, and of course together then makes the fabric color Royalty. So this set is going to be Royalty as well. So we can now go from dark teal to blackcurrant to dark gray to pistachio and then to teal wash. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or we can drop this one and get the 2 brown ones in and have 5 out of the 6 connected. So I hope you love these. They are available to order on the website for immediate dispatch, either by sets by themselves or as part of the kits to knit things like the jaga, like the fairy shawl, etc. Have a look on the website. I hope you love them. And then last but not least, just a couple of single colors, a couple that are back in stock. Violet is back in stock, as is Air Force Blue, which I forgot to grab to show you. But new are blackcurrant and this eau de Nil color that is part of teal wash. Now, one of the reasons that I show you those two together is to show you the 2 colors of linen, the 2 separate colors that together in a cross weave make a new linen color that is launching in the next section, part of the launch that I was referring to in Layercake, the pre-order that is running at the moment of cap tops, cap tunics and slackers, a new color called Nightshade. These are the 2 colors that make up Nightshade. I don't have a gradient for it, but I do have these 2 separately, so you could knit a stripe, for example, with these 2 and then wear that with Nightshade as a linen fabric color, linen outfit. So hopefully I've whetted your appetite with these. These are also on the website. enjoy if you like the linen yarns. For those of you who've never seen these before, they are 100% linen. The single colors are 50-gram hanks. The gradients are 4 hanks of 25 grams, so you buy 100 grams in total. 100 grams is 600 meters, and 100 grams knits more. It's more than enough to knit one of these. All in garter stitch, a jaga in garter stitch that is knitted with one of the 100-gram gradient sets. So a little goes a long way, and they are remarkably soft and remarkably warm to wear. Of course, they are airy because they're loose and open, but they do trap air around your neck, so they are lovely to wear. And you'll be surprised to learn how easy it is to knit with linen. Unless you are a very tight knitter, then you might struggle with, for example, metal needles, and you will want to go to wooden needles, for example, if you want to knit linen. So when in doubt, don't buy a whole set. Try some out to begin with and see whether it's for you, or hold them together with a different yarn. As you may remember, I showed you a jumper that I knitted very recently, a stripy jumper, where I'd held one strand of my linen together with one strand of cumulus. And that, of course, creates a much more slippy yarn. So even if you're a tighter knitter, you might find that easier to work with than linen on its own. However, I love working with the linen. I have started crocheting with the linen as well, which I adore. And I will see whether I happen to have the little samples that I crocheted in here. I don't see them. I don't think I've got them here. I do apologize. They'll have to wait until next time. But what I did was scale down my hook size to a 2.2 millimeter crochet hook, and then crocheted a couple of these shapes to see with my gradients to see how they worked up, and they work beautifully. So if I keep being bitten by the crochet bug the way I still am at the moment, I may have to do some designs in those. Watch this space. I'll show them to you next time, I promise. For now though, that was it. New shades introduced. Let's dive into Layercake. Enjoy. Slackers, cap tops and cap tunics. I thought I'd start with a clanger of a color combination. This is blood orange, slackers in the large regular length, and a cap top, I'll take this off in a minute, in a size 1, worn with a cerise duster, long cerise duster, and of course blood orange and cerise have a color in common. They're both cross weaves and they both have magenta in them. So I thought, wonderful, fresh, exotic color combination as a start. I will take this duster off, duster with ties, as you was able to see, to reveal the cap top. As you can see, it's similar to a love top, but with the sleeves lobbed off, same grown on little sleeve, but it's a little shorty one now, and done in a way that it just covers the tops of your arms. If you're like me, you've got aging skin. I'm 61, so it's all starting to get a little bit wrinkly and less good looking, especially if you're pale as well. So, but of course, when it gets warm, I still want to get my arms out, but I don't want to feel completely exposed. I don't want to constantly feel like my own attention is drawn to the tops of my arms. It's that whole consciousness of your body that I try to design Layercake around in a way that you can just forget about those bits that you don't want to be reminded of, feel comfortable in your clothes and relax into them. So that's what I believe we have achieved here with these little cap sleeves. So everyone can wear very short sleeves. They are not covering the complete top of your arm. but by that, with that angle, they leave plenty of arm exposed when it gets warm without you feeling like you're walking around in a little razorback vest. So I'm going to wear these, of course, with lots of other parts of the Layercake collection, lots of other colors, but also lots of other shapes, because the shape of these is such that with the similarities of the love top and the love tunic, you can wear them over and under your other layer cakes as per usual. So I'll make a start with that straight away. Before I put on a love dress in combination with this set, I just want to show you, even on the height that I am, 5'10", the love top just hits on top of my tummy rather than all the way over. So if you want a top that completely covers this part of your body, go for the love tunic. But even with the love top and now the cap top, that graduated hem, longer in the back and shorter in the front, creates, even with my bigger size, an elegant and a nice combination, a nice outfit. I don't feel exposed. The trousers are roomy enough, the slacker trousers are roomy enough to cover up that whole middle section even when I sit down, because of course when you sit down your body expands, and I have nice access to my inset pockets. The inset pockets of the slackers are attached to the waistband rather than hanging down, so they can never distort the shape of the trousers. They go all the way up to the waistband, so you can have your phone in your pocket without the whole thing dragging down and hanging by your side, for example. Let's move on and add a love dress to this and see what that looks like. The love dress is going to be magenta as well, because of course it's a wonderful combination to show with blood orange. Here we go. A love dress, size 1 regular, underneath my size 1 cap top, and worn over the top of the large regular length slackers. Of course, the regular length slackers are cropped on me, as you can see. If you are 5'5", 5'6", then those will be on top of your foot. If you're below that length, if you're more towards the 5 foot to 5'2", then the slackers in the regular length will be full length on you, almost down to the floor. So I will, of course, show you some of the long length slackers as well. And I have the new small size slackers to show you. It's not the size that I would normally choose, because I like the oversized look and of course with the size of my body. But if you're a smaller size, if you're a Layercake size 0 or 1, then you may prefer the slackers in the smaller size. They'll be coming up in a minute. I'm going to show you some more combinations of other Layercakes to wear in combination with a cap top and slackers. And here's a gather dress, same set as before, gather dress in the size 1 regular as well, so completely comparable with the one that I wore just before. And just like with the love dress, the love top and the cap top both hit the top of your pocket so that you still have access when you wear the top over the top of the dress. And doesn't it look great? With the gather dress, we've made sure that we didn't put too much fabric in, so you don't end up with a ton of fabric around your body where it's at its widest, and you still have lots of room and lots of air moving around there for when it gets warm. So let's move on to the next one. I'm going to introduce the second color of the top and slacker combination that is on pre-order at the moment. Here it comes. Here we have hibiscus. Just like cerise and just like blood orange, hibiscus has got magenta in it, but it's cross-woven with red. So you get a slightly softer, more towards a raspberry pinkish red. Great in combination, of course, with the cap top in the blood orange. And this is the smaller size. So I'll swap to a bigger size in the next shot so you can compare one finger clip after another what the difference is. But if I just show you by lifting my top a little bit, then you can see that it's almost form-fitting on me, especially with the size of my hips. Look, it's kind of just about fits around this part of my body, but there is still positive ease, plenty of positive ease around my hips and my bum. So I can wear this size even with like a size 20 bum, probably approximately my hip width and my stomach. So as a result, still being able to wear this, and of course there's room enough around my knees and thighs and everything, especially if I just want to wear these underneath other layer cakes, then I might prefer that very lean kind of silhouette and not have more fabric bunching around me. It is an option. In terms of how these trousers compare with the other trousers, in the fit guide on the website, I've put all the trousers below each other so you can see how they compare. As an example, if you normally wear the small size in the baggies, then go for the small size in the slackers. And if the high-lows are a good fit on you, then you can wear the small size of the slackers as well. It all depends on how much room and how much movement you want in them. I prefer my garments on the larger size. I want to feel comfortable. I never want to feel restricted. I want to put my hand in this pocket without feeling the edges, if you like. So large would be my choice for my size, but I'm just showing you here that it's perfectly possible, even with this size, to wear the small slackers. That's of course one of the reasons that we've made them, not just that bodies like mine can wear the smaller size, but there's lots of smaller layer cake size bodies as well, and you don't want to feel overwhelmed by the trousers. So this is the regular length again. I'm now going to swap these for a long length in the same color and in the larger size. So here's the small on me, and now I'm going to move to the large long and do a little twirl as well so you can see the comparison. And this is the large long. There's 6 inches more around the hips and around the bum. And there's a wider elastic, which we can make even bigger for the extra large. In terms of the measurements of the trousers, we don't go up in size for the extra large, we just put a bigger elastic in. If this size is not quite enough for you and you want more room, then consider the extra large palazzos, or contact us if you're particularly set on wanting some slackers in your size. We will always help out. So long large in hibiscus with a top, a cap top. If you think, well, I like this top, but I still want a little bit more coverage here, and I don't want to go to a tunic, then what else can we do? Let me show you. Here is one of the cocoon vests worn in between. As you can see, of course, it's got the same sweep as the bottom hem of the cap top, and it's nice and roomy around the hips, so it easily fits over the generous trousers that I'm wearing, and it creates this lovely color block in between, so it makes a very interesting outfit. Both are a size 1, both the cap top and the cocoon vest, and I will show you now by taking off the cap top what I mean with arm coverage. If you don't mind that at all, then of course the cocoon vest top is the one for you. Size 1, so it's just fitted around my bust, but nice and loose everywhere else, not clingy even when it gets warm. And the shoulder straps, the bands on the shoulders, are wide enough to cover any type of bra, high enough at the side to cover whatever you're wearing underneath as well. But of course your arm is completely exposed, and that's where you get to, like I said, when you are older and you don't like all the loose skin or wrinkly skin in some cases that you have right at the top of your upper arm, then the cap top just about covers that, where the vest or a completely sleeveless top doesn't. I'll put it back on to show you that difference. And here it is. Cap top back on, just the tops of my arms covered, and like I said, good combination with a vest top. Let's keep going. I've got so much more to show you. More of the hibiscus first. So here is the cap tunic. Again, in hibiscus, size 1, worn with the long, large, very flowy and loose slacker trousers, full length on me. Isn't it a wonderful outfit? And then, of course, just by throwing on a duster, for example, you end up with an outfit that is super simple, super stylish, super cool when it gets warm outside, and really fit for a wedding day, to be honest. It's a really simple, pared down and pared back shape and cut, just like we like with Layercake, trying to always pare down the shapes and keeping them really simple and create really nice fluid silhouettes. And I'm going to, of course, dress this up as well, show you some more different Layercakes worn in combination, especially with that cap sleeve. Let's grab a tulip dress, for example. Throw a tulip dress over the top of this, see what happens. One edition of a simple shift dress, like the tulip dress, and the whole outfit is transformed. Isn't this just cute as a button with those little sleeves peeping out? I think it's a really nice combination. It's really nice to have very different colors for the top or tunic and the dress, so that you end up with a nice contrast like this. But really cute, and an opportunity to wear your tulip dresses with a little top underneath rather than something that covers you more, or something over the top that covers you more, by just adding a cap top or cap tunic. Let's keep going. I'm going to compare that red of the hibiscus with the cocoons in Sangria, because of course Sangria is slightly darker, but boy do they look good together. I'll show you. Sangria baggies in long, large, the Sangria Love top in size 1, and a cap tunic over the top also in a size 1 in hibiscus. So hibiscus just looks like a slightly lighter red, but it's warm enough to go with the depth of color that Sangria brings. Of course, this is all very tonal. Let's bring in some contrast with the next color. Super light, super fresh, spring greens. Again in a size 1 love tunic, cap tunic. In contrast with the Sangria set, this set would look really, or this top would look really nice as well with teal cocoons, because of course it's got the soft blue as well as the chartreuse in it, which makes it this bright light green, which is beautiful with the teal. But I'm going to keep going because I can't show every set. Let me show you some more of the spring greens by adding the slackers. Large size, regular length slackers with the same cap tunic, and I kept that Sangria top on to show you that it's perfectly fine to dress this up in terms of making it warmer by putting a top underneath, and that could easily be a contrasting color. It doesn't have to be in the same spectrum as the rest of your outfit. If I would add a pair of red little pumps to this, for example, to bring back the red at the top, it would make for a stunning outfit. Some little, like the baseball type trainers, for example, or just little red sandals. Anyway, let's keep going. I want to show you some of the linen tunics as well in combination with these cap tops and tunics. For all the green lovers, all the green layer cake lovers, here is a tabard in apple green combined with the spring greens of the cap tunic and slackers. Of course, you can change the slackers for a different color or the cap tunic, but green outfit. Actually, I am going to find a pair of the teal cocoons. Oh dear. Teal cocoon baggies to wear with this outfit to show you how varied you can be in your greens and into the blues with the teal and make it look like a fabulous outfit. Found them. Teal cocoons in the large size, regular length, so nice and cropped on me. Lovely, perfect for summer, of course. And then worn with the apple tabard and my spring greens cap tunic. Now, of course, I'm going to take the apple tabard off because I'm so keen to show you the spring greens tunic against the teal of the cocoon. So if the contrast between the apple tunic and the teal cocoon is too much for you, then actually I'm going to take these out of the picture altogether. There they go. Just to take that acidic green of apple out and show you how lovely and how tonal the combination is here. If I look down, I can see the soft blue that's in this cross weave that really pulls up because of the wearing it with the teal of the cocoon. Lovely combination, I think. Let's keep going. Next one up. I thought, why not keep going and show you another size comparison? I've forgotten to do that in the past, I think, but here are the turmeric cocoon baggies in this shorter length, but also in the smaller size. So same thing applies as with the slackers. If you don't want all the extra fabric around you, then you could size down to a small size of the cocoon baggies. The elastic is tighter, that's the only thing. They just standard come with a tighter elastic because they're meant for smaller frames as well, and they need to stay up on those. But nothing stops you from choosing those if you prefer, because they will still fit you and you'll still be able to move around in them. There's less fabric around your legs. There's not as much fabric in between your legs, but of course they're also super stretchy, so you'll have plenty of space to move. So it all comes down to personal preference. But I'm kind of skipping over the fact that I am wearing the turmeric together with the spring greens, which is another really lovely, fresh, juicy combination. But let's keep going. Of course, I've got two more colors to get through with my slackers and cap tops and tunics. So here comes the next one. Hey. So here is a hay cap tunic, but in a larger size. This is a size 2 cap tunic on me. So of course the sleeves are slightly longer on me just because there's a little bit more fabric to go around and hanging down my shoulders. But it's another lovely combination and option if you just want to wear oversized roomy tops and have lots of space underneath your clothes. Then size up, because we cut these such that you don't end up looking into the sleeve. So even if you wear them oversized, you can still wear them and be covered in terms of not showing your underwear. And also to illustrate here, of course, the color hay against the turmeric of the cocoons. I'll put the matching trousers on with this hay tunic. The matching slackers in hay in the large regular length, in my case, the perfect size, and then with that nice loose fitting cap tunic over the top. For me, this would be the perfect summer outfit. I would not be bothered however warm I got, because I have plenty of loose fabric around me to keep me airy and cool without feeling exposed or underdressed in any way. Of course, the other colors come in these kind of combinations as well in terms of proportions. Let's keep going, because I've got more to show you in combination with the shaping of the cap, top and tunic in combination with the fabulous slackers. Staying with the really soft and more natural neutral color combinations. This is the same outfit I was just wearing, but I've put a love top underneath it in the natural undyed linen. So just an extra layer. When it gets cooler, the rest of the outfit is still perfect. And I can, of course, keep adding layers to this. Let's put another one on. Adding a smock in a size 2 in peacock. Smock, just like tabard, great to wear over the top of a cap tunic or cap top to have that pop of color, bit of arm coverage. Of course, I could take this love top back off and then just have those little cap sleeves popping out from under the smock. But let's keep going. I'm just going to add one more layer before I move to the next color of, last color of slackers and tops. I know I'm taking it to extremes here, but I just want to show you the possibilities. I've put a small check mini tabard over in size 1 over the top of my size 2 smock, which is over the top of a size 2 cap tunic, which is over the top of a size 1 love top. So I could go into winter like this with all those layers, but the illustration is how easy it is to wear these pieces on top of each other and make different combinations of different colors and the different shapes to make exciting outfits. What I'm going to do now is keep the part of the outfit the same, but change the color of my slackers and cap top, cap tunic. Here it comes. And here is Nightshade. I've taken the natural colored, the neutral colored undyed linen love top off to show off the cap sleeves again. But here is Nightshade in long large slackers and a size 1 cap top, worn with a smock and a mini tabard to show you how well the colors go with the small check of the mini tabard. Of course, I'm going to take these off so I can show you Nightshade in all its glory. Here it is, Nightshade cap top and Nightshade slackers in the long large. A couple of more combinations and then we're calling it quits. Of course, one of the questions that I have already had is, how does Nightshade look next to Blackcurrant? So I'll show you. In typical Layercake fashion, Blackcurrant and Nightshade have a color in common. The aubergine purple that is in Blackcurrant is also in Nightshade, but cross-woven with a bright purple instead. So as a combination of the two, they are beautiful together, because when you look at Nightshade up close, you can see the red purple of that aubergine color in there, but then offset with that bright purple that ends up jazzing up the color and making it lighter, of course. So wonderful combination, but let's bring in some contrast as well. One way to calm down Nightshade, of course, is to wear it with a lighter or a less bright color. In this case, hay. I think the combination of hay and Nightshade are a match made in heaven. I really love this combination. But if the yellowish color in hay is just not your bag and you would like another contrast, let me give you another example. The fresh mint of teal wash against that beautiful, bright, rich purple that is Nightshade. Here in a short duster with ties, so done up. Want to see more? Okay, one more. Here's another good to know. A synergy duster and a cap sleeve have a lot in common, but they're not identical. The cap sleeve is cut narrower, closer to the bottom of, or like to your armpit, so that, you know, this is much bigger, so you can throw the synergy duster, you can throw it on over anything really, whereas the cap top and cap tunic are cut to wear without garments other than your underwear underneath. But we have made the cap top and tunic sleeve just that little bit longer, so that if you do wear it in combination with a synergy duster, again, you just have the edge popping out. Like? Okay, I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you enjoy the new colors in the new shape of the cap top, cap tunic, and matching summer slackers. Any questions, let me know, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you for watching.